Hey, hey everyone. Happy Wednesday. We're here for another how-to series webinar today. Just going to hang out and wait for the room to fill up. See you guys coming in. Hey, hey, say hi. Let me know you can hear me and see me when you come in. Also have a poll up for anyone joining today. If you've tried PhotoDay, let me know so we can discuss certain things during today's webinar. That helps me figure out who I'm talking to here. So, oh, hey, Arch, nice to see you today. Hope that all is well. Awesome. Hi, Kelly. So today I'm Lisa with PhotoDay, for those of you who don't know me. And today we're going to be going over our group and public galleries. As you may or may already know, may not or may already know, we have 3 different gallery types in PhotoDay that have all different permissions. So we have group galleries, we have public galleries, that's what today is about. We have private galleries, and that's what yesterday was about. So today's webinar is all about group and public. They are very closely related. And everyone say hi to Wes. He's in the room moderating today. So if I don't get to your questions, Wes will be able to answer for me as well. He'll help out in the chat room. So feel free to use that chat as we go along. So looks like we got 50-50 so far. Have you tried PhotoDay? Yes or no? We'll wait a couple more moments. So I got people viewing, but you guys aren't saying anything on chat. So why don't you just let me know that you're here and we can get started. So let's see. Group and public galleries. We'll talk about today's agenda. So today we're just going to review the specific gallery types. We'll go over some use cases on how or when the best place is to use these types of galleries for your upcoming events. Oh, hey Cherie, hey Heather. Thanks for chiming in, guys. We'll also go over the marketing that we have to help you connect your customers to those gallery types. Go over some uploading things as well as gallery organization. So with these 2 gallery types, we have different ways users can find their photos. So we'll go over those different options and what best practices are there. As well as your insights panel in the job and how to use that effectively and what that all means. And then at the end, we'll just pull it all together and you guys can do some Q&A for me or just a summary of what we went over today. So hopefully you guys will find this super helpful. We noticed as we keep building features on the PhotoDay, we can't just have one big webinar anymore. There's so many different features, so much information. We decided to break it out into this how-to series, which has been very effective so far. So hope you guys are enjoying that. So let's just get started. I'm going to talk about the different use cases of group and public galleries. So let's just talk about the difference. The main difference between these 2 gallery types is if you've been using PhotoDay from the beginning, our initial launch, PhotoDay 1.0, only had 1 gallery type, and that was public galleries. And what that meant was that, yes, they have an access code that they would enter into the main landing page, galleries.photoday.io, to get to their gallery. However, you also had a direct URL link that it generated, and people just could click it and get right into the gallery. So that URL link is what made those galleries considered public, because if they share the link, anyone can get in there, even if they didn't have the code, because there's a live link, right? So with group galleries, the only difference is that link is different than the access code. So there is no direct link into the gallery. They can still go there. You can still make a unique link because there's things coming in the future, the reason why you would need a direct link. But they still have to enter that special access code. So the group gallery has one extra layer of privacy, especially if you're sharing things on social media about an event that's just a group event, kind of like a sports league, for example, that they can't just click and get right into the gallery. They click and they're still going to have to enter their access code before it lets them further into the gallery. So hopefully that clears it up for you guys on what those two gallery types mean. And then for anyone who doesn't know that's new to PhotoDay watching this, we also have private galleries, which was a webinar we did yesterday. That's available in the webinar replay section. That's where you individually passcode protect each gallery for each subject or each person that you're photographing. So hopefully that clears it up for you guys. We have a lot of new people here today. So welcome, 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 because you've never used PhotoDay. And that's great feedback for me. So thank you, thank you. I will get started. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to share my screen. So give me 1 second, put these controls on and get rid of my camera so you can see where we're at. So when you log into your studio panel for the first time, this is what you see. We're just going to jump right in to set up a job. Now, for anyone new here that wants to know everything A to Z about PhotoDay, I recommend watching one of our Getting Started webinars where we kind of walk through what all these things do in the studio panel. But for now, for this particular webinar, it's just meant to talk about these particular gallery types, and I'm going to go through setup and marketing and all that stuff. So use cases. So use cases for this gallery type. Group or public, this is totally your preference. So you have youth sports, high school sports, any proms or dances, things like that. Special events could be used here. Dance, action, photography, anywhere like, you know, if you're in a public setting, if it's a public park and everyone can see everyone, yes, that's a public type gallery. I totally recommend going the public gallery route for those because it's one access code and they direct link right into their gallery. For like more private, smaller leagues or smaller events, or even like a dance school, you might not want that public link. You might want to have a private link where they have to enter, or sorry, I said private, a group link where they would want to enter their access code to get into that gallery. So maybe those events you'd want to use in a group setting. So if you guys don't have any questions about that, I'm going to jump in to set up a job and show you what it's all about. So when I go to create the job here, I'm going to use like a cheer and dance from a high school as an example. Oh, hey, Octavius, how you doing today? But I'm going to go in here and show like an example of like a cheer and dance from a high school. So this one's going to be called NHS Cheer and Dance. Woo. And I'm going to link that to an organization. I already have these organizations set up because you might have multiple jobs inside of one organization, like a high school, for example. I'm going to categorize this. These are youth sports. And I'm going to select my picture day date. Just going to say it's next Friday. And I'm going to photograph 30 people. This information here is helpful, especially when you're trying to look in the insights later to know estimated about how many people you are going to photograph, because what that does for you is it helps you keep track of like, okay, how many people am I photographing? How many people did I photograph? And how many people did I get to opt in or text that access code to the gallery? So it's kind of that extra level of accountability to make sure you're doing your marketing correctly. So I would always suggest going in here and putting your estimate in here just to hold yourself a little bit accountable for that upfront marketing. So over here, we just go into getting your job started. I'm going to go right into the gallery access levels. Again, we just discussed these three for sake of this demo. I'm going to show you guys in a group gallery setting what that's all about. Like I said, the only difference between group and public is that public has a direct URL. They get right into the gallery for those. So over here under the group gallery, you'll be able to customize this link. Now, right now, this link is only going to lead them to the main galleries.photoday.io landing page, right? This is here for a reason. We want to be able to eventually offer you guys some custom landing pages. That's why we're starting to kind of take this route. But right now, it's still going to put them to the main page. So whether you're using this custom link or you're using galleries.photoday.io, it's going to take you all to the same place to enter in that group gallery code, which is what you assign here. You can use our default, but in this case, I always recommend trying to make it something easy. So here, I'm just going to put NHS demo. And I'm not going to put an expiration date on here. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And surprisingly, I've never used NHS demo as an access code before. So little thing about access codes, guys, is that access codes are global to our entire short code at PhotoDay, which is 90738. That means when somebody uses an access code, nobody else can use that access code. So, there's different strategies you can take with the access code. We have some users that just use like their studio initials and like a number when they're setting up. We have some users who try to take team names or whatever and turn them into access codes. It's really your preference, but if you get the warning message, it's already been used, it might not mean you've already used it. It's probably because somebody else in the PhotoDay world has already used that access code to our short code of 90738. So next step, our job screen is going to walk you through every step that you need to do to set up your group gallery. And you can kind of see the summary here as you go along. So when you open that job, you'll see what your access code is. So I'm going to go ahead and start the setup. Important things to know about this page once you start to get into this page is you have two options here. Well, we have a lot more than two options, but you have to decide here how you actually are going to sell and market this gallery. So you can do it with Advanced Pay, which I highly recommend. Advanced Pay is basically like selling a gift card prior to your event to commit them to a purchase later. Think of it like a studio session fee that's refundable at the time of purchase, and you can do that in small increments. So instead of getting them to commit to a package in advance when they haven't seen pictures yet in the traditional paper order form way, you are getting them just to commit to like $5, $10, $15, something they can apply towards their purchase later. Does two things. Obviously, it gets skin in the game. Second, it connects them to the gallery. So they'll get all notifications to redeem that credit after you've published. So I always highly recommend Advanced Pay. But of course, this is totally optional on how you want to set up your studio and how you want to market the studio. So your event. So over here in our Advanced Pay, I'm not going to create a credit sheet today and get into that. I'm just going to show you the functionality of how this actually works. So I'm going to attach a credit sheet that I had already made during the Advanced Pay webinar, so AP webinar. And at this point, I can incentivize that Advanced Pay offer, like that Advanced Pay credit with an offer. So I can say to our customers, customers of this organization, if you purchase an Advanced Pay credit now, I'm going to give you, say, free shipping off of orders 30 or more, whatever that is. So I'm going to attach that free shipping coupon code to this gallery. And when people text that code, it's going to say, get a jump on picture day and buy this credit to get free shipping later and apply it towards your order. So people in the online world love to spend a little now to save later. So that's that. That is what we're satisfying here in that consumer psychology when they're shopping in the online environment. Also, this is where you attach a price sheet. I'm just going to leave a standard price sheet here that I've already created. Once I attach a price sheet, it's going to pull up available themes. So it's going to know that I set up that price sheet for that specific lab, because you can connect to multiple labs with PhotoDay or just have your one lab. And then those labs offer specific themes. So we don't know when it comes to themes until you attach a price sheet. And then we ask you which theme you would like on this gallery. So in this gallery, and this lab has their theme sorted by color. So I'm just going to pick red because I know they have red and black in their uniforms. So I'm just going to pick red because I know it'll all match here, and it'll present them with all those different designs in red when they're shopping in the store. Since this gallery's in Advanced Pay, they're going to be able to preview the storefront, which means they'll be able to preview all the products that are on the price sheet. They won't be able to buy anything yet because there's no pictures, but at least they'll be able to preview what's coming. This is optional too. You can turn that on and off depending on how you want this to function for you. I'm going to leave it on for the sake of this demo. One more thing in Advanced Pay I forgot to go over is this little customer data here. You can require them to have to enter the person being photographed when they're purchasing the Advanced Pay credit. This is super helpful if you're doing like some compositing, or if you are requiring them to make a purchase so you can do your compositing or something like that, or you just want to have like a tally of who is buying the credits for which subject they're buying the credits for. So you can turn that on and off. That's totally your preference as well. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then the next step is to get started. Well, we haven't shot this event yet. We haven't photographed it yet. That's coming next week, next Friday. So right now, the next step is putting our gallery in the status we want it to be in. Right now, it's in draft. So if you guys right now text to 90738 with your cell phones, NHS demo in the message body to 90738, the gallery is in draft, and it's just going to return a text to you that says, welcome to PhotoDay. We'll notify you when your pictures are ready. That's what it's going to say. When you switch that gallery to advance pay, then they'll be able to start buying credits and be tempted to buy those credits with that special offer. So, oh, my gallery path is too long. Look at that. Let me go shorten my gallery path name. Sorry, guys. Let me go back over here. I think it's here. Hopefully it'll let me save that one unless it's already taken. All right. And then I'm going to go back to the store. And then I'm just going to go back over here to set job to advance pay. All right. So I set the job to advance pay. So now if you text to 90738 what our job access code is here, I'm going to go back out to my main screen in my job dashboard, which is NHS demo. You'll see a return text that says purchase an advance pay credit to get started, and here's your free shipping offer. The cool thing that we just added, the cool new feature we just added to this is that in the past, they would purchase the advance pay credit and then they would get their free ship special offer code, but they would still have to apply it at checkout. They would have to go back to their text message and know to apply that at checkout. And that was frustrating some customers, or they were forgetting. So what we just added was if you do this now and they purchase that credit, that offer code is actually like stored, linked to their mobile number. So when they log in to use that credit again, it knows that they got that special offer, and it will automatically have it loaded into their checkout screen where it says add offer code for them. So they don't have to remember and go back and do that step anymore, which I think is super awesome. That was like a great feature for us to add to help the customers with checkout. So I'm going to go over next. Now I set up the gallery. It's in advance pay, and now I need to let people know about it in advance. So I'm going to go over here to the marketing section and make a flyer, because my first point of contact obviously is the person that I've been talking to at this organization, and we want to send out the information to them so they can send out the information to the parents that Picture Day is coming. So I'm just going to name this one is my advance pay flyer. And then I can customize this flyer. It's got this neat little flyer builder. You don't have to think about what to say. We put it all in here for you, just so you don't have to do that extra step of planning it all out. You can even add a picture here, like say if you did the event last year, or you want to put your, I don't know, something about your studio here, whatever you want to do, samples of your work, you can put that here. Your logo is automatically going to be here at the bottom of that flyer, because that's where you put it under your studio account you set up, and you can add a logo there. And that's where that logo populates. So it just says PhotoDay there because I have the PhotoDay logo uploaded. So just to be clear with everyone. And then obviously here's the advance pay offer, get free shipping, orders must be $10 or more on that offer that I attached to this gallery. So it basically tells them everything they need to know. So I'm gonna go, well, actually, let me just put a photo here so I can show you guys what it looks like with the photo on it. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this advance pay flyer. It'll take a minute, and it'll bring me to the save and share options as soon as it's created. Sorry, my internet's slow for some reason. Let's go flyer. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we have sharing options. So I have a couple options on how to get this flyer out. One, I can just download and print PDF. I always suggest doing that, especially if you're going to events where parents may not be there, just so you have a couple on hand to hand out to either like the kids, if you're doing high school kids to take home, or to like if you're at a public event and you have parents, you might have like nannies bringing the kids, and you might want to have to send home the nanny with something because she might not be able to text, parents not there to text the code right away. So you want to have like a couple flyers to hand out with you on site. And I will show you other options for that as well here in a minute after we get out of this section. Then you also can email this to your event organizer. So over here, you can go ahead and their email address will automatically populate here if you had set it up under your organization. If not, you can just add a new one. So here I'm just going to select mine because I put mine under that organization. And then here this subject, picture day is coming. And then we have already an email template here for you that just helps explain, like, hey, can you get the word out for this event? It's also going to contain a link to the HTML page that this creates that just has the flyer parked on it. So they don't have to open a separate attachment. They just click the link and it brings up the flyer. They can download the app. They can go right to the gallery and buy an advanced pay credit, or they have all the information right there that they need. Once they send this, it's going to look like it's coming from you, not from PhotoDay, to your organizer. You can also just send this email to yourself if you wanted, and then forward it from whatever email application you're using if you wanted to keep track of it that way, but it'll go out to the organizer at that point. I'm going to go back in here and just show you what that landing page looks like under that same flyer, which is the web URL. So I can just copy this URL and I'm just going to make a new window and paste it so I can show you what that looks like. But this is the HTML page. So it just gives you kind of like that shortcut link, and it has links to go right into the store, download the PhotoDay app, and get right in with that access code. So, and it also has like, hey, we're going to give you free shipping if you purchase the credit, and you will receive a text with the coupon code with this advanced pay offer. It also has like a little how-to step-by-step guide, like if they need a little bit of extra technical help to learn how to place their order. And there's also a video parked on this page as well, which helps the parents, like for the parents that need help, and it has the video. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can get that to that web address here. I'm just going to post it in the message just in case you guys want to bookmark it. But it's the how-to PhotoDay resource you can send out to people that might be having some technical difficulties on how to place their order. So those are the different marketing options that we have automated here. Now let's say you get it out to your contact, you downloaded a couple, or you printed a couple copies to take with you on picture day, and now you want to do some fancier things like banners or posters to hang up, things like that. We have that under the resource section here. We have what's called a sales kit and a marketing kit. Those two things, two different things. The sales kit is for you to go kind of pitch to the world about how you've got this new workflow and this new system, PhotoDay, and parents are going to get multiple poses, multiple options. We have videos that explain it here, that you can download these and edit them. If you wanted to add your own personal intro or outro, add your logo to the videos, you can download these videos and use them as your own resources, so you can share them out on social media or blast them out through emails or put them on your YouTube channel, whatever you want to do. Over here is the PhotoDay sales sheet. This is a PDF. It just kind of gives you the talking points here on how Picture Day is different with PhotoDay and your studio. So we just have the say goodbye to paper forms, see your child's photos before they purchase, pick your packages, pick your own poses, customize products and gifts, and track orders right to your doorstep. We feel like those are the 5 like really strong selling points. And it's a great way to go book new business, because a lot of people still have never heard of this workflow in the traditional volume photography world. So a lot of leagues love not having paperwork, as well as the dance schools, because they have multiple poses already and it works very, very well. So we also have that how-to video that I just shared a link to down here. You can download it and throw it up on your own personal YouTube channel or website or Facebook page, whatever you want to do. The marketing kit is for actual picture day. So here we have different templates, like poster templates. We have like even ones that show them how to text an access code. This is something that I highly recommend if you're going to have like staff or a cashier table on picture day and parents are coming to that event. Print a couple posters out that have the access code on it as people walk up. There was a person the other day, one of our users, that brought up a good point. He was Jay, actually, on Jay's webinar on Monday. And he said he only had one poster at his first event, and then everyone would kind of like hover around that poster, and then more people would come. So like he learned for next time to have 2 or 3 posters up that parents could see what they need to do prior to having their photo taken. So they can text that code here. It tells them a visual on how to do it. These are all layered files in Photoshop, so you can download them. You can change the colors to match your branding. You can add your logo to them. You know, anything like that. We also have banner templates in here and social media graphics and little business cards. So there's all kinds of resources in here ready to go for you guys to use to help spread the word and can get people connected to your gallery. So I know it sounds a lot of like up front, if you're, especially if you're in the traditional workflow, it sounds like a lot of work up front, but I promise you, once you get this down and you have your marketing down pat up front, like what you save on the back end is just, you can't replace that because you're no longer dealing with all those paper forms and trying to get them over to the lab and dealing with all the bad handwriting and illegible stuff and entering packages, all that fun stuff. So that all happens automatically. So you spend a little bit more learning time up front. Once you get the hang of it and get into a system, it works out actually really awesome. So that's all your collateral. I'm going to go back into the job now. So say we executed picture day, people made advance paid credit purchases, all that fun stuff. I'm going to check out my insights just to see the activity and if anyone's been doing things. So here I'm in my insights and I can see two of you guys right now from this webinar actually text in to the gallery and to see what's in here in this gallery. So you guys texted the access code, you got in here. I see that 2 people out of my 30 that I'm going to photograph so far has opted in, but nobody's bought any advanced pay credits yet, because I would totally see that under my sales here if they were starting to buy advanced pay credits and who they were buying them for with the subject name right here. So so let's say picture day is executed successfully, and now it's time to upload photos. So I'm going to go back over here into photos and I'm going to upload. Now, a couple things about uploading, guys. This is definitely different than probably previous software, especially if you're used to using Rose or something like that, because some fancy things are happening. First of all, PhotoDay is web-based. So your upload speed is going to be determined by a few different things. Number one, it's going to be determined by your internet speed. So if you got fast upload speed, it's not download speed, it's not the same thing. So you got to have fast upload speed. So if you're doing like, I would say 10 megabytes per second or higher, you should be pretty good. And it should run pretty awesome. Your browser is going to make a difference, especially if you have any kind of like adware or weird virus stuff going on, like extensions installed in your browser. Sometimes that can mess with the upload speed or uploads in general. So I'd basically start with a nice clean browser. And third is going to be your actual computer that you're uploading from, because it has to be a decent computer to process all those files and get them uploaded through the web gallery and all of that. So if you're optimized, your uploads are going to be great. The other thing that you have to know is that we only accept JPEG files, and they have to be less than 15 megabytes each. So, and that's because we're using FaceFind technology on everything, and we're expediting. Plus, you really don't need anything bigger than a 15 megabyte JPEG file to print 8x10. So, and we don't charge for storage here at PhotoDay. So we just ask that you keep your JPEGs smaller, especially if you're doing post editing. And a little tip about post editing: if you guys are doing composites at all, and you are, say you're running them through like Pixnub or something, sometimes even if you save as a JPEG, it saves all that metadata, like the history of what happened to the file, essentially making your file sizes much larger than what they are. So if you can run like a third-party software to dump that metadata out of those images, or just save as a web JPEG, because that usually gets rid of any metadata to make the file size smaller. You should be able to be just fine just to reduce those file sizes. So when you're doing like 2,000, 3,000 uploads at a time, you'll just want to make sure you've covered those bases. So here I'm going to upload a top level folder, and it has both, it's called NHS. You can't see it on my screen with the way this thing screen shares, but it's my folder is called NHS, and inside that folder, there's 2 folders. One's cheer and one's dance. So when I take that folder and I upload it, First, it's going to say it's detected keywords. So if I use Lightroom to edit or put keywords on my files, I can actually use them as tags. So right now, I'm going to just choose to ignore those keywords because I don't know which files have keywords and which do not right now. So we're just going to go with folder structure. Now, tags here, guys, those are not folders. So if you are uploading a ton of folders, and let's say some of those folders have duplicate file names, it's going to ask you to skip or replace those files. So make sure if you're, divvying up all your files in the different folders, because there is no folders when it comes into PhotoDay. It's just one big thing. So, oh, my photo's in here too. I didn't even realize I put it in there yesterday. But so make sure that you just don't do that and have separate file names. It will cause you less frustration on the back end when you go to upload everything. So it's all one big gallery essentially. So you can't have those duplicate file names right now. So I'm going to say done here. And it took my folder structure like the NHS and it ignored the top tag, but what it did is it took the other two folders. So when I click cheer, I can see all the files that were in that folder, and dance, I can see all the files that are in that folder. So I put this in here yesterday during a demo, so I'm just going to delete that one out of me so we could just keep it straight here. And then of course I can see all photos, and if I'm dragging or uploading new photos that need to be tagged, I can go in here to untag. But we're going to talk a little bit about this gallery management, this photo organization. When you're doing like a large event, which with a lot of teams, in PhotoDay we always say with these group or public galleries, there's no need to image catalog. You don't have to write down numbers on who goes to what at all. Like, there's no reason to do that if you're just utilizing PhotoDay. There is a reason, however, to break down those big jobs into smaller tags. Even though you can rely on our face find feature to go ahead and find photos by their face, I always some people just might not be comfortable. We have a very small number of people that might not be comfortable in the face find only. In addition to that, it may not work awesome depending on the reference photo that they're uploading for face find and the quality of the photo that's here. So if it's like a silhouette shot or their whole face isn't in the photo, it might not find them. So I always recommend doing tags as well as face find. So you can tag by team or by sport type or whatever. Just narrow it down so they don't have to sort through 3,000 view all photos. They can just sort through 50 or 100 at a time. It really doesn't take, we scroll faster than Instagram in most cases. So it doesn't take them any time at all to scroll through the galleries to find their photos. So it's a little lesson on tags there. So you can always rename the tags here once you get in here. You can add new tags if you want. You can add additional tags, like if I wanted to tag this one and also add teams here, I can add another tag to that if I wanted to. And then the same thing over here, I can do the same thing. So you can continue to add tags here if you wanted to, create new ones, manage it, but it's easier if you've already left that up to your folders before you upload them. So you're obviously going to be doing some level of post-processing there, and I would just carry that on over to your gallery just to save steps in between. So let's see what else we got in here. All right, so my photos are up. My photos are organized. There's one more thing I want to show you over in the job settings here is your gallery search options. So right now it's going to be defaulted, and this is the same in both public and group. Everything I'm showing you is the same in both of those gallery types except for that gallery URL we discussed. So over here, the gallery search options, you can turn these on and off. So on big galleries, we recommend to turn off view all photos and just use face find and tags, only because somebody might bypass the search options, get stuck on view all photos, and then get super frustrated that they got to scroll through thousands of photos to find their image. So to optimize it for the best customer experience on the large galleries, and when I say large galleries, I'm going to say over like 300, because it scrolls pretty fast. So if you have over 300 images, don't use the view all photos feature on that job. Turn that off and just use face find and tags. It just makes it easier for the customer, and that's what we want. We want to give them the best experience possible, so you don't have to do any work on the back end after picture day. So over here, I'm going to leave it face find and tags. I'm going to save it over here. And then that is pretty much it. So it's still on advance pay. I uploaded my pictures. People may have still been making credit purchases. I can always go back to insights and see that as it comes in. I actually can even download a report that shows me everyone's information that has bought in the gallery. So that's there as well. And now I'm going to switch this gallery to publish. So once I publish this job, it is going to start our auto text feature. So what that is that everyone who's purchased a credit and or text the access code is going to get a notification that now the gallery is on sale and it's ready to view. It's important to note, guys, this only happens one time. So it doesn't matter how many times you unpublish and publish this job, it's only going to deploy that series one time. So that right now, for those of you guys who have opted into the gallery, you're going to get that first published text that's going to say the gallery is now on sale and they can go in and start shopping. Now, for anyone else, when you text the gallery now, if you go and text the gallery now and now the gallery is on sale, you're going to end up seeing like the link to get into the gallery, and it's also going to provide you that access code to opt in to get into the gallery. That's that extra layer. So right now, if this was a public gallery, you could just click the link in your text message and it would open into that gallery automatically without you having to enter in that group code. So that is like the big difference. So hopefully that I made that really clear during this webinar. There. The other thing that I wanted to note over here is, the insights are such an important thing to follow, because as you're getting that communication out, you can see like, hey, like, did the league send out my flyer? Well, I don't have any insights yet. I have no unique gallery views. Nobody looked at anything. Nobody clicked on anything. There's no activity. That means your organization probably didn't send anything out yet. That's why there's no activity. So then that gives you a prompt to follow up and say, okay, let me create some activity there. Another thing to note, now that this job is live and people can shop, I'm gonna go ahead and go over to this job right now. So let me go to galleries.photoday.io, and I'm just gonna show this to you on this side. Sorry, that's my account, and I have tons of galleries loaded from everyone as I'm testing things out. So I'm gonna go right in here. And you'll see my two search options, face find or tags. I'm just going to go ahead and select tags and select done here and go right into the gallery. So here's the gallery. I want to shop. The one thing I want you to also know is that if parents have multiple children, they can go ahead and combine them all in one order in the group or public gallery setting. So it's very easy for them to shop and switch in and out packages. Why did I unclick all photos? Oh, Lorenzo, the reason I turned off view all photos is I was just trying to say, like, if this is a bigger gallery and say somebody bypassed the search options and then they're stuck in a view all gallery scroll, and for less tech savvy people, they just won't know to click on the magnifying glass again to find the view all photos. You just don't want to. I just never recommend view all photos. Not really a reason for them to view all photos when there's like thousands of images in there. They want to narrow down the set. So face find and tags is where it's at. Now, we'll get into the details of face find now. Let's kind of close on with this before we go into any Q&A you guys might have for me. But in face find, it's great. This works great. We even say it's like 95% accurate. However, when you're dealing with younger kids, this is computer vision, guys. So it's only as smart as a computer can be. It's not going to recognize clothing or the hairstyle or anything like that. It's going to look at their face. It's going to know there's a person in the photo, and it's going to look for details of their face. And it's going to make like a data map of their face, like a fancy equation, all kinds of fancy stuff, and it's going to store that. And then when the person here uploads a photo of the child they're looking for, it's going to create a data map off that photo as well. So the match really is determined on the quality of photo that the parent's uploading and the photo that you uploaded. Those two things have to match. It is pretty accurate and pretty nifty. However, when we're talking about younger kids, they have less facial features. That means if the quality of the reference photo is not that great, bad lighting, shadows, blurry, whatever, it may not find those younger kids. And when I say younger kids, probably like, we're going to say 8 and under, because they don't have as many features for it to match and look for. So instead of being uncertain, PhotoDay is just going to say, nope, we're not returning any results. So I do not recommend having face find only in your gallery, especially when there's a lot of young kids. I would always have face find plus tagging. If you wanted individual protected galleries where only that person can access, then you would need to use our private gallery feature. So hopefully that clears it up for you guys and helps for a better experience. But here you can see that the parent can upload. We also have like a learn more about face find article for the parents to go visit. But a lot of them really like it. We get a lot of positive feedback because they can find their photos so quickly in the gallery. It's almost instantaneous for the most part. So hopefully that clears things up for you guys. Is there anything else you guys have questions about today? Because that was pretty much it on public and group galleries. So let's see. We have upcoming, let me go back off my screen share here, but we have more webinars, believe it or not. This month is like webinar month. It's all about education on how to use PhotoDay and how to implement it successfully into your studios, because I think ultimately we all want for the same thing, like to connect more with our customers and to get more time back for ourselves so we can spend more time being better entrepreneurs, like in furthering the studio and going to book more contracts and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to show you guys the upcoming webinars here. Start. Oops, that was my wrong slide. So we got some more upcoming webinars. We have selling downloads next week. It's all about how to monetize that download and have it not hurt your sales. So we're going to dive into that next week. And then we have another one on Thanksgiving week, all about PhotoDay communications, where we go over all the outlets and everything that you need to know about communicating out to not just the organization, but out to the parents and beyond. And then we have another one coming up. We push this one a little bit later into the first week of December, all about file organization, uploading best practices for keywords and things like that to fully optimize PhotoDay and make your experience as awesome as it can get. Phil, great question. The watermark feature, I can show you guys that right now since we're at the end here. So PhotoDay has its own default watermark. That's what you're seeing. Purchase this photo to remove watermark. We just put that as a placeholder there because we realized in the beginning when we launched this, a lot of people were forgetting to put their watermark and having a bad experience. So we ended up putting that watermark there as a default placeholder. Now, you can change your watermark at any time under your studio, under logo and watermark. And that's where you would upload your logo to for the flyer that we built earlier, the marketing flyer, as well as you can replace your watermark right here with one that you want or more personal to the studio. Also talk a little bit more about branding as well. We try to put your name and your logo out there as much as possible. So we have it here on the flyers where you can add it. Your company information will be on the flyers in your email. So make sure when you fill out your studio information, it does tell you this information will be shared with your customers. Some of the text messages that go out will also have your information in it. If they have questions or they want to contact you, that way they know that it is your studio. You're just powered by PhotoDay. That's kind of the slogan we say. It's powered by PhotoDay. It's not actually PhotoDay. So that you are still the studio that's doing everything. So we're putting your name out there as much as we can right now. And of course, we're always open to feedback and ideas to help make PhotoDay better for you guys, because that's ultimately what it's all about. Lorenzo, great question. Currently, the text messages are not customizable. We just kind of have them in a flow right now. So in the auto series that goes out when your gallery is published, your customers get them on day one. They'll also get them another message, and it only goes out at this point to the people who have not yet made a purchase. So if they purchase, they stop getting the text messages unless they still get their tracking text message that they elect to receive. But you get one at day 3, day 5, day 7, day 14, and then again at day 30. A gallery really takes, when you go online, I think the gallery really takes a full 30 days sales cycle from start to finish. When if you compare it to traditional, yes, you get everything on that day. You're walking off the field with a box full of petty cash and credit card transactions and checks you have to deposit. But at the same time, you still have all that work to do. And by the time picture day is said and done and you deliver everything back out and you deal with the customer service and the lab back and forth, it really ultimately ends up being 30 days, right? So the only difference is you're still waiting to get that cash all, in that total 30-day sales cycle. We have a blog post about that, Wes, if you want to post the blog for the sales tail, which really helps wrap it up with live data that we've used to kind of tell the story of what to expect when you're using PhotoDay for the first time at one of your events. I just don't want you guys to get all like worried if you don't see sales come in. Everyone flips to the publish and they just wait for 150 orders. I'm like, oh, it doesn't really happen like that unless we do some really cool custom text marketing with you, which we would love to help you with at any time in the bubble. So if I shut off my camera, you guys will see the bubble down here in the corner. We're always here for you guys in the bubble. We do have, thanks for that, Wes. We do have custom text marketing that we can do for your galleries. We handle that on a case-by-case basis, and you can request to work with us in the bubble here for your gallery. So you can get on the right marketing plan and see those awesome sales results. We also talk about that exact text and to bring it to market strategy in the advanced pay and price sheet sale to webinar, where we talk about all that stuff. So Phil, great question. If I click over here on labs, let me get rid of this screen so you can actually see it. You can see all the labs that we are currently partnered with. We're always open to adding more partner labs. So if your lab doesn't appear on this list, go ahead and create a demand and ask your lab for PhotoDay. But we're always open to entertaining partnering with new labs. So right now we're partnering with Bay, Black River, GPA, Millers, Reedy, and White House, which are all great labs to work with. I've loved working with all of them. I came from the lab world, so that's where I was working before the PhotoDay project. I worked for a couple different pro labs, so I love dealing with our lab partners. They're awesome, and they all have different perks and great resources and amazing customer service, and that's part of why there are partner labs too. So we're all about that customer service, guys. So if that is that, I will sign off. Pretty thirsty from talking for 48 minutes. If you guys don't have any more questions for me right now, you can always message us privately in the chat bubble at any time. If you don't have an account already, you can sign up at photoday.io, or you could reach us in the chat bubble at support.photoday.io as well. So, and we'll be happy to discuss things one-on-one with you guys. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Oh, and if you didn't already, I totally forgot this. If you haven't signed up for PhotoDay yet, that means you're not in our Facebook users group. We have an amazing Facebook users group. So make sure you sign up for a PhotoDay account. It's totally free, no obligation, and go right into the PhotoDay users group. There's so much activity in there. And there's a lot of users sharing their stories, what works, what doesn't work, but it's a great group and you guys are all invited. So make sure you get over there as well. So, oh, thanks for that too, Wes. All right, thanks guys. Hope you have a great day. Happy Wednesday.